Okay, so you've finished painting for the day. Let's pack up the studio, clean our palette, and clean our brushes. The first thing we're going to do is, using a palette knife, scrape off any excess paint we still have on our palette. When we start working with more paint, I'll show you how to store any excess paint that you can use the next day. But for now, we just have some raw umber, some ivory black. It's not worth saving. Then, using some kitchen towel, scrub off as much paint as you can. The third step to clean the palette is to use some turpentine or odorless mineral spirit, whatever you have on hand. Pour a little bit onto the palette and, using kitchen towel, clean it again. You should now have a clean palette. If you have a new wooden palette, you might want to pour a little bit of linseed oil on and use some kitchen towel to rub it in. This oils the wood, creates a protective barrier, and stops the paint from sinking in. Next up is the brushes. First, try and take off any excess paint in your brushes using kitchen towel. Use that by squeezing the kitchen towel around it, and also by putting the kitchen towel on the palette and brushing the brushes over it. Once the brushes are as dry as can be and you've got enough as much paint as you can, it's time to use the turpentine or mineral spirit. I have this little container which contains a mesh. This helps dislodge the paint from the brush. However, in the past I've just used jars. Any glass jar will do. You also get special cleaning soaps for your brushes if you don't want to use mineral spirits. Again, pressing the brushes and swirling them around the solution to get any paint off, and then dabbing them, wiping them on the kitchen towel. Once most of the pigment has left your brushes, we can now wash them with warm water and soap. Soap also breaks down the oil in the brushes to give them a final clean, and also take out any mineral spirits from the brush, as this can damage the bristles. Your brushes should be pretty clean now. Brushes can last a lifetime if you look after them correctly. However, if you leave them just once overnight without cleaning them, or without cleaning them properly, if there's still paint in there, they can be ruined forever. So look after your brushes and they'll serve you really well. The final step for the brushes now. Have you ever wondered how to stop your brushes from splaying? You use them, they're perfect, they're brand new, and then the next time you use them, all the bristles are going in all different directions. There's one thing we can do to prevent that. We're going to need our handy kitchen towel once again, and also our saliva. Yes, spit. Thicker than water, spit is a really good binding agent that will shape your brushes perfectly every time. Please don't lick your brushes. You want to spit in your hand or directly onto clean kitchen towel, put your brush in the spit, and then wrapping the towel tightly, roll up the brush. The kitchen towel will dry kind of stiff, and so will your brushes stay in the shape that you roll them. Water is too thin and wet and doesn't hold the paper together. And now you know. I know it might seem a bit gross, but once you see what it can do for your brushes, you'll be doing it every time. We've cleaned our brushes, we've cleaned our palette. Any used mineral solvents, spirits you can store in a jar. The pigment from the paint will actually sink to the bottom, and you can use the same mineral spirits over and over again. Another quick note before we leave this session, all of your kitchen towel and rags which have paint and solvent on them, you should be storing these in a metal bin with a lid. Kitchen towel and rags which have mineral spirit on them have been known to spontaneously combust. Another reason a lid is a good idea is because although we can't smell the odorless solvents, they're still dissolving into the air and we don't want to be breathing those in. And that's it for today.